I am so excited to be with you all live today. I have to tell you that it's just a little bit of fun for us, for me, I would say, to be able to share with you a little bit about what I've been up to in the last couple of months. And many of you have been asking, going, okay, how did she do this? What happened? All this other stuff. Well, I will tell you this. You know, I'm just gonna be honest, going through divorce, going through everything has been, you know, it's a process. Anyone that's been through that knows what it is. But I will tell you this, the way that I personally believe is when you're doing good things happen. And when you're on the right path, the universe or God has a way of just showing you that you're on the right path. And it truly cemented for me when I got to see my fabulous friend, who, for those that have not met, this is Nicole, who I've been bragging to so many of you about, is about us going ahead and having this great conversation today about how we got together with Limatus. Nicole and I is going ahead and having a lot of fun. But sorry, somebody was trying to message me on the other side. Thank you, Haley. I appreciate you. I can't change that tag right now, but we can do it later on when we do the other stream in that. But of course, we know those tags will be put in later on in the comments. But thank you so very, very much. But with that further ado, Nicole, who is a fabulous friend, Nicole and I met when we worked at Neiman Marcus together. And I will tell you, she was an assistant manager at that time in cosmetics when I was a public relations manager. But there was always, and all of us have those people on our teams, these like go-to people that when you know you have to do something that's above and beyond, you're like, who do you go to that most likely are going to get a good yes and also plans more? Nicole was definitely that personality. So later on, we get together for lunch, and it's a lunch about me pitching our talent. And next thing I know, they're talking to me, and you surprised me profusely. I'll never forget when I showed up with you, Nicole. So first of all, welcome, Nicole, to the show. And I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to have our chat today.
You know, Nicole, on that note, one thing that I love to take all the viewers through, and yes, people, you all can comment and tell us all the fun stuff that you're having here on the side, is what I loved about it is here I show up to meet with you and Haley. It's the first time I'm getting to meet Haley at Limatus. At that time, your showroom was in the Roosevelt Library, and a little bit later we'll talk about your newness that's going to be coming, which I'm so very excited about. And I'll never forget going to, you know, doing an Instagram story, showing up, and I'm in the process of this. I just had Mark and Vince and all these people in town doing some other creative sessions with them. So I'm on that creative buzz, and I'm there and I'm like, oh, I like my outfit. We're going to do a little IGTV story here. And I'm like, hi, everyone. I'm coming in because I get to design a suit today. And all the time I'd always wanted a white suit. We'll go into why in a little bit. But I'm doing this story and everything's great. And Haley is so cute that she says, you might want to redo your story. And me, I'm thinking, oh, did I mess up already? I'm like, I'm going to do a brand ambassador job. No. And she's like, she goes, no, you're fine. It's just we have a surprise for you, go downstairs. And Nicole, tell our audience about the surprise that ended up happening. And
yeah, so, you know, Xitlalt was talking about like getting a suit, and we had bigger things in mind for her. So we were like, you know, she has this great audience, she has this great style, and you've always had this style. And we were like, we want to do a capsule collection with you. It's just like a no-brainer for us, you know. You have great style, and that is like, you can totally see it in the collection. And you've always been like a style, like icon working in fashion and stuff like that. So we were just like, so glad to have you.
Well, thank you. Well, and I will tell you this, what I was excited about is when you said capsule collection, I go, a whole collection?
You're like, more clothes.
Yay. And by the way, let me just quickly say, because we are live, Haley, I did change it to public now, so thank you. I love that Haley's in the background. We're gonna call her a secret producer today.
Yes,
I love that. But yes, more clothes. But I have to tell you, for me as a process, and I really want to thank you and Haley in this, is I remember at that time, it was a time of transition for me. I was going through all those motions of everything that's just raw, just because you're human. It's possible. No matter if it's the right decision for both people, and both people are great individuals, it's still a decision. But I have to tell you, on Wednesday, and I'm going to get emotional about this, but on Wednesday, and then we're going to talk about everything else. When I saw on my post about the collection being there, was the first time I reflected and I go, Oh my gosh, look at all that we've done since February. Most people don't realize we just did this starting in February. And it was in the middle of one of the biggest mountains I've ever had in my life. A self-induced mountain, but a mountain I had, where I had to honor, heal, forgive, meet with an attorney, try to figure out what's going to happen, all these other things. And I have always been a glass half full person. But I want to publicly say thank you, Nicole. You made this process, this collaboration, and some of my, I just left an attorney meeting, now I'm going to here, and you made it amazing. And I can only imagine for a person that's not going through that, what an amazing experience it is there too. And again, it's nothing to say against anything else, but it was more about my story and honoring me for the first time in my own self-identity. So the stars truly aligned, because you've not only given me that, but literally when it says inside my beautiful Limatus coat, you know, Xitlalt Herrera, it literally was, wow, look at what is possible. So I really want to thank you and Haley for being on this journey with me. And also, quite frankly, to serve as a testament to everyone that's out there, that no matter what you're going through, it's what energy, what do you bring to a situation that can do this? And you all allowed me a creative space to express myself. And I have to tell you, my mother will attest to it. Since I was a child, I loved having a creative space. So thank you for allowing me in that. And
well, thank you for allowing us too. I mean, that was like part of the story that we were trying to tell, you know, it's like a powerful woman and your new journey, but you know, look at you now and look at this collection. It's fabulous.
Well, and you know what, and thank you for saying, because you know, when we talked about the Empowered collection, we talked about different things, and I sat with you. I have to tell everybody, if you've not heard this little story about my niece, this happened years ago. My beautiful niece, Annalise, my sister Elani's oldest daughter, it was very cold outside. And I remember that I was like, Annalie, you need to put on pants. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, thank you, Haley, love working with you too. What I tell you is, and she only wanted to wear skirts. And so my sister, like, it's like freezing, snowing outside. And I'm like, she goes, fine. My sister goes, she's putting on leggings. And of course, you know, being Mexicana, I'm like, Mom didn't raise you that way. If she told us to put on pants, we just did it. You know, I was like, no. Yeah. Out of my sister, she's evolved, you know, in that aspect. She goes, and she goes, no, I'm allowing her to express herself. I said, thank you, because actually my mom allowed me too. That's why I had such a creative expression when I was younger. And when I asked her, I said, Annalie, okay, I'm curious, why won't you wear pants? She goes, Tia, princesses don't wear pants. Have you not seen all the movies? And I remember going, oh my gosh. And when I started designing this collection with you, that was one of the very important things. It doesn't mean I don't love my skirts, because everybody knows I love my femininity. Hello, it's lavender and as much jewelry as possible. And all these things. So I love both sides of expressing that of myself personally. But I realized that she had a different implication. It's nothing against anything that's there. It was just opening up. It doesn't mean or, it means an and.
Right.
And what this collection to me defined was that you can be feminine and comfortable if that's who you want to be, or you can be as masculine as you want to if that's what you want to be, but you can just be yourself. And that's what I loved about Limatus. And when we did the first coat, which was a tuxedo jacket. Hi, Francis. Thank you. So when we did the first tuxedo jacket, which I would love for you to talk about the fabrication, because it was like butter and filling it, as you know how much I love textiles. Yeah. And she'll tell you, I was in, I'm like, no, this doesn't feel like this. I need it to feel like this. And it was just fun because I'm a very tactile person. Is the main reason that tuxedo jacket was so important is because when I was 7, a lot of kids have dreams of going to Disney World or Disneyland. I'm in Miami right now, so you know I might end up there later too at some point. But when I was looking at the collection and stuff, is when I was 7, my dream was I wanted to go to Marrakesh because I want to go Jardín Mayorel, to Yves Saint Laurent's home. I loved Yves Saint Laurent. It's just part of who I was. So that tells you who I was at 7. Okay. With that being stated, in that, when I was at Neiman Marcus, and I'll never forget the first paycheck that was really my paycheck for me, the first thing I bought was an Yves Saint Laurent black smoking jacket. And it was what Twiggy and him did and how she turned it into a dress out there. I haven't done that, but
not yet.
You know, but that was such a powerful moment for me as to, again, the femininity and the masculinity, and knowing that we can merge both, which is part of who I am. And so when we started everything, that's immediately when I was immediately going, I want a white tuxedo. And the reason it says I am enough inside of the jacket in my handwriting is when my parents went through a divorce, which I'm so grateful that they did, because they showed me happiness, them living their authenticity now. And I'm glad I went through that. So I know, and that was 5 years ago. When your foundation is rocked, we all need something. And my foundation at that time was listening to everything I could, and I was absorbing all this knowledge, and it was I am enough, kept on going up there. And I've had that on my mirror for many years, because there was times where I believed it, there was times where I needed to work through it, and there was times I had to memorize it. But it's not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. But I wanted everyone to know in my handwriting for themselves is that they're enough just as they are. Because I really feel that when everyone knows they're enough, there's enough space for everybody. You learn how to share, like we do when they taught us in kindergarten in the sandbox. Share your toys, do the stuff. Why? Because if you're good, everyone around you will be good as well.
Right.
So that's about my emotional side. But now let's talk about the fabulous fabrication of that tuxedo, because I just love what you did in making my dreams come true.
Well, I want to touch on what you mentioned earlier about like freedom and like feeling like you can express yourself like through masculinity and femininity. Like there's such freedom in that, right? Like clothing is a armor for us, right? Like if you're feeling a little down sometimes, you like dress up a little bit more, and you know, you express that perfectly. Like it doesn't have to be a singular thing. Right. You can express yourself however. And that's something that we pride ourselves in with Limatus Bespoke. You know, you can create anything that you want. There's no limitations for you guys. But yeah, so with the fabrications with the jacket, we use Dorme, which is a mill that has been around since 1942. So these are, you know, fabrications that are very, very luxe. Like this is 100% wool, and they travel well too. And that like is just like huge for you, especially. I mean, you're in Miami, you go everywhere, so that's a huge deal for you. But yeah.
And I will tell you this, one thing that I loved about this, and this was for everybody that's out there, my inspiration of the collection as well, that Nicole and team made possible, was utilizing menswear fabrics for me, female clothing. Why? My ex-husband was a great dresser. I loved his suits. And I would always want to borrow his blazers, you know, and then belt them in the middle, which I know, but that's something I always wanted to do. And I didn't always have the luxury of doing that. And now it's like, oh, yay, I get all the menswear fabrics for me. And I have to tell everybody. And I would love for us to talk about this Loro Piana jacket that I love as well, the little box jacket.
My favorite.
Your favorite piece.
Yes.
But when you said wool, and I will tell you this, guys, you have been holding out on us. I'm in Miami right now. This is so lightweight. By the way, I traveled with this through the airport. It did not wrinkle. I am like in heaven going, how did they have all these fabrications and why haven't we used them before? Yeah. But I have to tell you that it's so nice and so lightweight, and I just love it. And I also love borrowing from the boys and making it for the girls, if you will. But also when I say that, it's unisex. So I don't want anybody, it's binary. It's whatever your expression is in doing that. You know, I support you 100% in that. But before you go into this, thank you, Janelle. We are so excited that you are here with us, and Crystal. So they just, and Renata, thank you all in this collection. So tell us a little bit about this Loro Piana fabulous jacket and that fabrication too.
Yeah, so this is Loro Piana, and this is going to be all season. So as you mentioned, you can travel well with it. I think wool gets like a bad connotation because you think like a wool jacket's going to keep you really, really warm, but it's actually moisture wicking. So you do get that breathability. If you do want something that's a little bit heavier, we can do that as well. But we live in Texas and we have to, you know, make sure that our fabrics are wearable throughout the year. So that's a great example with this jacket because, like you said, you can travel with it, you can wear it whenever, you can layer it to make it a little bit warmer, but that's a fabulous fabric that you have.
Thank you. And you know, one thing that when we were looking at this is I love buttons, and Sweet Nicole went to go to the ends of the earth to find the right buttons for me because I love them. And she was like, functioning. I go, yes, functioning buttons. Because I love to be able to play with them.
Roll it back a little bit. Yeah.
Yes. Open it up going, this is what we're doing with this. And also the finishes of the stitching. Remember that we were going back and forth. I was like, no, I want every little detail that's there. But again, going back to what you said about the wallet being wicking, I'm not there yet, knock on wood, I did have a birthday, but for some of those fabulous customers that maybe have been going through some transition in life, did you hear moisture wicking? So for all friends, you can wear something that's luxury and to be able to do it with the breathability. I just think that is also something that's so wonderful. One of the other things I wanted to touch upon in a little bit when we go into like the vest and pants, we'll end with that in a little bit, but I want to talk to you about why bespoke. You know, for me personally, why bespoke is I've been working in luxury retail, loving fashion for a very long time. I've been at different sizes in my own body, and loving myself at the different sizes was a process. I think it is for everybody, right? Of what's going to make you comfortable. But what I realized and learned in life and my studies, my own spirituality, is when you finally love who you are in that mirror, it shows in every aspect. And I didn't want fashion for this collection. And that's so you were the perfect partner for me when you all came to us with this idea, is I wanted everyone to feel beautiful. Well, you feel beautiful when everything's tailored to you. When everything is tailored to you, it's made. Why? Because again, going back to what I said about the I am enough. You are enough. You are perfect as you are. If you have a personal goal that you want to do great for you, good for you. But do not be happy with who you are at this moment. And what I loved about that with a bespoke of what you all did is you measured it to make sure it fit me. And then once we even got it back, it was like, hey, let's tweak a little bit of these things. And you were like, not a problem. Let's make that happen. And I think that that's a treasure, because I think that a lot of people think when they think bespoke thing, then they think expensive. And it's not. It's an investment, but it's maybe compared to certain things, but it's actually a lot less expensive than what I was used to in other retail formats, I want to say, from that perspective, because I don't want to do a comparison game. But I was really impressed with the quality and the craftsmanship that Limatus gave me in this collection. And what you did. So walk us through a little bit about that process. So that way, for those that are out there, maybe have never been measured before for this, kind of understand and see what it is that we do.
Right. So we take a bunch of measurements, and it may seem like a little intimidating to begin with, just because it's, you know, you're getting in your personal space. Yeah. But the reason we do that is so we can get the right fit for the person. And also too, like, that doesn't mean it has to be like one look. Like sometimes we play with the measurements to make sure it's like more of an oversized look. It's really anything you want to create, we can do that. And also too, you mentioned that like, sometimes it's more expensive, or it sounds more expensive because it is bespoke, but like for myself, I'm on the shorter side. So I already have to get like everything altered. So now with bespoke clothing, like I don't have to get it. It comes in my size and everything's good to go. You're not spending that extra money for alterations. But with all of the measurements, we take those, we put them into our computer. Once we do the fitting, we like tweak the measurements to make sure that like the next time you come in, it's ready to go. But yeah, we do a bunch of measurements to make sure it fits you.
So it fits you. So, and in that, you know, understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. Hello, I've been about my whole life. So it's okay in that, and in that process and allowing that to happen. So know that it's just like, I remember that the old adage used to be how many, I think at that time when it first came out, it was like 9 out of 10 women were wearing the wrong size bra.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the reality is the same thing happens in clothing with both men and women. Why? Because a lot of people are measured, or you just buy it off the rack and you go, or then you go somewhere to get it tailored and fit to you and to your sense. Somebody's trying to reinvent somebody's work. But this way, it's there from the beginning. So just so our audience knows, because in case somebody hasn't gone to the website, tell them what the opening price point is for a piece from the collection.
I would say it's around 200. So that's shirting, and then it can go up. You can even buy the whole collection, and we'll fly out to you if you need that. We'll do the fittings over there for you. We'll bring some champagne, make it a little fun experience. And that's for $9,000, but that's the whole collection. But starting off is 200.
Perfect. And I have to tell you, I do know of tuxedos that were worth $9,000 because we so I'm just throwing that out there, but don't let that fool you. It starts at 200, but it's something you're going to keep forever. And again, I love the initialing and making that, because my sleeve has my name that says Xitlalt. I think the camera can see it there, but you can do what you want to. I know a friend of mine ordered one that says truth or dare on there. So it's up to you, whatever your personality, you get to show that. The other thing is, understand this, I'm not going to be offended because I know where my essence and my style is. So if you want to buy it as it is from the collection, thank you. I appreciate you. But also if you're like, you know what, I like those pants, but I'd rather them be a skirt. That's okay too. That's what Bespoke is. If you're like, by the way, I love that lavender shirt, but you know what? I prefer it in black. We also have one, but you can do that as well. So know that there's no wrong. And I have to tell you all, many of you have asked me, what does X Level Inc. do? Okay, so here's the 3 branches of the company, and this one's going to fit into one of the branches. The first one is X Agency. So that's where we represent actors, models, people, musicians, and growing them into larger markets. That's my goal. Why? Because I want to empower others the way I've been empowered and give them opportunities the way I've been given them, and just open up the door and see what's possible. It's their choice to walk through the door, but that's one of the goals that I have with X Agency. And the second one is X Creative. And that's where I'm hired to be their creative director or creative consultant for different things, such as this is where Limatus falls into in this process, is where I'm personally involved within that. Why? Because I might have somebody walking with a model or different producers, different things to work with. So X Creative is really where I get to work on this vision that we have of our, and again, a lot of the things are in alignment of empowerment, growth, and design. That's at the end of the day, if you want to know what X Creative is. X Studio is where we have photographers, camera people, such as the makeup artist that you saw, all the makeup looks that were there was Barbara Casarin, who's somebody that we represent from that perspective. Think of what I want X Level to be is your good housekeeping stamp of approval, if you will, of it fitting the umbrella of fashion forward, empowerment, and entertainment. And that's why I want to be for you to know that Limatus fits all that in one. And that's why I chose them as a partner as well. Not only did they choose me, I got to choose them as well. And the main reason we chose each other is because we were in alignment with that brand objective. And as you know, for anyone that's been out there, what a process of what I've gone through, I've been very public about it in a good way, that they can make you feel that comfortable. Then think of what they can do with you, and you're already empowered and you're already amazing. The other aspect that a lot of my friends have been asking is like, how can I support you, Xitlalt, in your growth? What are you doing? Buy the collection. And let me tell you something, for my other friends that are like, you know what, I don't like any of your fabric choices, or I'm a very masculine guy and I'm not going to wear your lavender shirt. No. Okay, that's okay. Because as long as you say Xitlalt sent you and you have something tailor-made for you, you're helping me grow my vision. And everybody that is out there knows that my vision, it's not just for me. Every day I ask myself, how am I going to serve today? What is my highest purpose and put me there today? And so just know that by just being a partner with that, but being sure to tell them that I sent you, will be a way that we can all collaborate together and work together and empower each other for that. And I will tell you this for my friends in Dallas, New York, Atlanta, LA, because I know some of you have been going, Xitlalt, can we go? How can we see all this? Know that, as Nicole stated earlier, get a group of friends together. Have her show up and we'll do a little fun measure party. Yeah. We'll have some champagne and we'll get some great suits made. And for people to know what's the turnaround time for people to understand if they do that, or how to support and say, by the way, you want to have your own trunk show and us show up with it. Be happy to do that with you too.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the turnaround time is anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. We can also rush things if needed. So we just need a little bit of time to make it. And then we also do the fitting after, just to do some tweaking, as Xitlalt mentioned, and then it goes home with you.
And then it goes home with you. And you know, while we have this in the audience, because I know if anybody in the audience has questions to ask us, feel free to type in your question. We'll be happy to answer it here in a little bit for you. But on that note, before you ask us this, you know, I would love to talk a little bit about, which I love, is the vest and the pants. That's one of my favorite things. You know, and a lot of people have been asking me, they go, tell me about the vest and the pants, in which I'm actually wearing the pants today. I'm going to stand up. This is not going to be very flattering, but I'm going to stand up. But do you see the pants here? So when I did our asymmetrical tuck-in, you know, yes. I like to joke around that that's the Nicole touch. Yes. Asymmetrical tuck-in here. But in it, when I was looking at those pants, and at first I was inspired by, you know, Blake Lively and stuff like that. And then I was like, let me inspire this for myself in another way. How do I do it for me? And Maria Felix is another inspiration that's in there. And then my other inspiration, Frida Kahlo, and you know, it's and Anna Wintour. And I was looking at who are some of my favorite Greta Garbo women that have inspired my fashion sense throughout time. And so I do the suit and I'm there, and it wasn't until I was at the photo shoot that you recognize how subconsciously you've made decisions and you don't even realize why. And when I put on that suit, and it's right before Josh Huskin is about to take the pictures of us, I look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, this reminds me of my uniform from elementary school from St. Mary's. I go, that's what, that actually reminds me of that. And it's so funny because my cousins who are older than me had the newer uniforms. Of course, I'm in the middle of the family and all of us were at the same school. So I got theirs. But I would cut the skirts, and my grandmother, who would sew, would love that I would cut them and make them into shorts, make them into shoelaces. Like, again, what can I do to express myself within the confines? And I was just laughing at myself going, the little girl in me was happy, saying, you know, thank you, my nuns from St. Mary's that allowed me sometimes to express myself in my own way, because it allowed me to kind of bring that into the pants style too, and the vest, which was a lot of fun as well. And tell us about the fabrication for the pants and the vest.
Yeah, so that is Laura Piana as well, and that is a good summertime one too. So that is going to be really great for the summer. Again, moisture wicking, good for travel as well.
That sounds wonderful. So Nicole, what's on to you next? What's your next project you're going to be working on?
You'll have to stay tuned. We'll see. Yeah.
I know. Well, for everyone that's out there, I will say this. There is some new fun stuff to be looking at in September for. If you want to be on the wait list, where you'll be able to see a lot of these things in person, just be sure to go to Limatus and be asked to be to the Xitlalt wait list with it. And we're going to release some other fun information in the near future about maybe a party, maybe some cocktails, maybe an opening. You never know what could happen with us and what we're doing. But I had to tell my friends, you all have to know what to wear. So if we look at today's date, and somebody ordered something today from you and got measured in this week, they could possibly wear it to that event September, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We can totally do that. And you can wear it to our new showroom at Expo, which we're very excited about to have our party there. But it's going to be amazing.
It will be amazing. And for all my friends, of course, if you're wondering what to wear at a party when we're all together again, safely, of course, but all together again, know that you could be wearing part of the capsule collection there, and that would be the best honor you could give me. A shirt, it doesn't matter, whatever you want to wear, but and mix it up and make it yourself. And if you do, please do me a favor and hashtag XLevel Inc. and also hashtag Limatus Bespoke, you know, and Xitlalt if you want to. And for those that don't know the spelling, it's on the screen. Over how to spell my name. But the main reason being is I want to see how you wear it. And also, if you have a question on how to wear it, what to do, Nicole and I are here to help you style it and make it your own. Because as I said in my post earlier, to me, what style really is, it's about rediscovering your essence and seeing what calling card you're showing to the world. Because regardless if you realize it or not, how you show up is how the world receives you. And believe me, the world is so much more loving than you would ever imagine. And it wants to love you for the best version of you. You just have to believe it when you're looking in the mirror every day that you're bringing that. Because as I used to tell people, I go, the clothes don't wear you, you wear the clothes. So always know that as long as you are bringing your best self in whatever you're putting on, you are going to look amazing. And I promise you, great things and great opportunities will always find you. And that's the best thing I can do. So Nicole, since I think, somebody had a quick question that they were loving all of this. And thank you, Crystal, for all the great inspiration. And I love Renata. She put, love the fluidity of this line, very well expressed. And Annalise story and visualize you with your style and collection. Thank you all so very much. So I know we're about to sign off, but Nicole, do you want to leave anybody with any advice over how they can get a hold of you all and how they can make an appointment to view this and to support my collection with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach us at Limatus Bespoke on Instagram or limatusbespoke.com. There you can view the collection, look at all the pieces. You can even purchase the collection online, and then we'll reach out to you for an appointment time, or you can just schedule an appointment and let them know that Xitlalt sent you.
Thank you. So Yolanda did ask a question. She goes, who's the designer, Nicole? Actually, we both are.
Yes.
So the way that this worked is it was a collaboration. So it's about two great women supporting each other, as we all should, and expanding the wheel of success and the wheel of empowerment. So I came with my inspiration. She asked me questions as to what inspires me. We sat with the fabrics, picked out every button. And anyone that knows me knows that I would be involved in all the processes.
Yes.
That's the way that I was made. But if you do not have that creativity or did not want exactly what I designed for you, know that Nicole can help walk you through that process by asking you questions, and she understands the fabrication so well. And if it's not her, it could be somebody else on Limatus team as well.
Absolutely.
Because the whole team works really, really effectively together. But good question, Yolanda. But when asking this, it's truly a collaboration between both of us. And it was, I will say, Nicole seeing what the vision I had, how we worked together, how we designed it, and executing it. And again, Nicole, it truly, truly has been a pleasure working with you in this. For everyone else, if there's not any other questions, but thank you for asking that one, I'm going to leave you with this. Life is beautiful, and life is what you make of it, no matter what is going on around you. But the most important, oh, she said fabulous, thank you. The most important part in life, it's about collaborating, it's about building, and knowing that there's enough room for all of us to succeed. So know that if you choose to purchase something from my collection, thank you for allowing me on my journey to be part of the success. If you choose to do something else, a kind deed for somebody, I'm okay with it. The reality is I just want us all to grow, because the more that we grow, the better it is. And I was asked this question earlier, and somebody said, they go, how are you smiling so quickly with all that you've gone through? And if you weren't here at the beginning, I did mention that. I said, you know what, on Wednesday, I cried tears of joy in realizing what we accomplished during possibly one of the toughest things I've ever gone through. But I will tell you this, through a lot of peace, a lot of love, a lot of forgiveness, and a lot of meditation. All you have to do is follow my Instagram to know that I'm usually walking in the woods in the morning. It's just what gets me through my day. And meditation, 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 and prayer. It's what gets us through. And I will tell you this, that when you're doing that and you're honoring your own truth, it doesn't mean you're doing anything to anyone else. You're just honoring you. And when you honor your truth, you follow your inner compass, and it leads you to your happiness. You can't get it wrong. Everything was meant to be there. And I will say this publicly, I am so grateful to my ex-husband. I'm so grateful to what we built. I'm so grateful to the journey we had. And I truly wish him love, blessings, and success. And I know he will find the right person, because he's a good man that deserves a good person. It's going to be in alignment with him. We're just at two different parts of our journey, and that's okay. That's what life is. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about accepting where you are at that current moment and being proud of who you are, and knowing that there are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. And it's when you finally start following your own divinity that you finally find your own light. And that's all my goal in the world is to do, is to bring as many people to the light, for them to discover it for themselves, because it's been a beautiful journey for me in the process. Not a perfect one, but a beautiful one, and one I would never, ever change for anything else in the world. So grateful for the whole thing. Sounds good. So anything else, Nicole, before we sign off?
Well, I'd like to say thank you for, partnering with us as well. It's a huge honor for us. And I mean, you have an amazing story, and you're so enlightening and loving, and we couldn't ask for a better partner. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, namaste. I'm so grateful to you. And to the team. And thank you, Tessa. I appreciate, yes, it's all about us staying true to ourselves, because the more people are true to themselves, the better the vision comes. So again, thank you for everyone, just for even listening today. And again, if you happen to support us in the collection, I am eternally grateful for you, because you're just paying it forward. And the more we all pay it forward, the better the world becomes. So thank you. And to Limatus, so grateful. Again, you made my fashion dreams come true that I envisioned was 7, and here we are today, and I get to combine it and wear all my necklaces because even knows me knows how much I love jewelry, and putting it all together. So it's just part of it. And again, always with hats because everybody knows I've loved with hats since I was a child. All right, everyone. So wishing you a fabulous and productive and a sunshine-filled day. And know that I'm here for you should you need anything. And just DM me, DM Nicole, DM Limatus. Know that we are here to make your fashion dreams come true. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous day. Bye.